Attending a fabric swap can be the most fun ever. It's one of the most ethical ways to offload your unwanted fabric, plus it will give you access to new to you fabric that you're excited to sew with. And you'll get to meet other passionate sewers. In this episode, you'll be coming along with me and friend of the podcast, Catherine Waite, as we attend the London Destash Fabric Swap. The event took place in January 2024 and was organised by Yvette from Stash Hub and Sarah from Olive Road, London. Make sure you listen right to the end where Sarah shares some incredibly helpful tips on how you can organise a fabric swap of your own. Welcome to Check Your Thread, the podcast that will help you sew more sustainably. My name's Zoe and I'm obsessed with sewing. I've been blogging about it for over 16 years and I'm the creator and host of the popular handmade wardrobe challenge Me Made May. But, like many people, I've become increasingly concerned about the climate crisis and I'm looking at the way that my lifestyle contributes to it. So in this podcast, I'll be nerding out about making clothes whilst exploring how to minimise the negative impact that it may have. I really hope you'll join me in this journey. How's it going, lovely one? Are you doing okay? I have been totally blown away by the amount of engagement and responses there's been to last week's episode, which was entitled No Small Business on a Dead Planet. My goodness, it must have gleaned the most responses out of any episode I've made. Clearly, supporting small businesses is something that so many of you are passionate about. And also, so many of you are trying to navigate that alongside reducing your consumption of new stuff. And quite a few small business owners actually commented and messaged giving their perspective. So I'm busy lining up some conversations with some of them for future episodes so we can explore the topic more and hear directly from some of the owners to hear their thoughts and experiences. So super quick sustainability win for you. My garden is buzzing with bees at the moment. They're mainly enjoying the honeysuckle that the previous residents of this house planted and the nasturtiums that I once planted and now come back every year and try to take over the world. So I really want to encourage you, if you have any growing space at all, to plant or sow something for the pollinators to enjoy. There are heaps of things that you can just buy once and chuck in the garden, such as lavender, that will require little to no maintenance at all, and they'll support the local bee and pollinator population in your area. Remember, pollinator populations are dropping globally, and we literally need them for our survival. So do them a solid and grow a pollinator-friendly plant for them to snack on. Massive thanks this week goes to Catherine, Isabel, Anne, Emily, Daria, Emma, Andrea, Trisha and Hannah, who all so kindly signed up to support the podcast this week. And huge thanks to existing patron Georgina for upping their amount of support. You are all keeping this micro business afloat and I am so grateful. As you might have noticed, there are no ads or sponsorship on this podcast. So the financial support from patrons is literally the only income keeping it going. If you don't think you'd miss the price of a cup of coffee each month, please find the link to the Check Your Thread Patreon in the description in your podcast app right now or on the website checkyourthread.com. It takes less than 2 minutes to sign up and it will give you access to the Check Your Thread Patreon feed and our lovely monthly mending meetups and our monthly UFO work in progress meetups that take place via Zoom. Right, so today's episode. I've got some updates and additional stuff to share with you about this one before we actually get stuck in. So, as I said, you'll be hearing the recordings that I made in January when we were attending the London Destash Fabric Swap. And that was organised by Sarah from Olive Road, London, an online vintage fabric shop, and Yvette from the Stash Hub app, both of whom you will have heard on this podcast previously. So since the event in January, sadly, both Craft Central, the amazing venue where the event took place, and Sarah's business, Olive Road London, have closed down. This, of course, leads heartbreakingly on from last week's episode about small business closures. That said, Sarah and Yvette are still planning to host another big swap next year. I've had an update from Sarah that she's looking around for funding and suitable accessible venues for next year's event. So make sure you follow Olive Road London and Stash Hub app on Instagram to get details for next year's event as they unfold. I will, of course, endeavour to announce the details here on the podcast also. So Sarah and Yvette also really want to encourage other people to set up their own fabric swaps, which is why Sarah shared some really handy hints towards the end of this episode, and in the form of an excellent blog post which I've linked to in the show notes. And this also leads on to another really important point. Swapping and redistributing existing resources is excellent and a key aspect to sewing more sustainably. And I definitely hope this episode inspires you to attend or set one up for yourself soon. But a reminder for those of us who are fortunate enough to not have this at the forefront of our minds every day, COVID still exists and is still killing people and wrecking lives through long COVID. So I want to share some quick tips that are really easy to implement to make your next fabric swap COVID safer. So first, test yourself for COVID before attending the event, and if you're the organiser, ask everyone who plans to do so too. If you're feeling poorly, don't go. Or if you're organising it, just postpone the event for a few weeks until you're well again. If you're travelling by public transport to get to the event, wear a mask on the public transport. And when you're at the event, you can also wear a mask. If you're organising the event, consider hosting it outside. And if you can't do that, make sure it's well ventilated. So big thanks to awesome patron Yona for sharing an excellent resource about making in real life meetups COVID safer. I've put the link in the show notes, so please check it out because it includes other tips too. So back to the event that took place. If you'd like to see some pics from the event, including pics of the fabric that I took to the swap, the fabric that Catherine brought home from the swap, and the projects that we've since made with our scores, please head to the show notes, which can be found on the website checkyourthread.com. This is episode 144. Annoyingly, I didn't take a photo of the fabrics I brought home. I can report, though, that I brought home 6 lengths of fabric and some jersey scraps. So far, I've sewn up a lot of the scraps and I've used up 2 of the lengths and I've just cut into a third. So thanks to everyone who spoke to me at the event, Tanya, Shivani, Camilla, Tamzin, Sarah, and of course my pal Catherine. And make sure you listen to the end to hear Catherine and I slightly tipsy on the train, justifying the amount of fabric we brought home. So until next week, take care of yourself, set up a fabric swap for your sewing pals, and enjoy. Catherine, where are we?
We have just got to Canary Wharf on the train. It's been a mission, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think I left home 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And now we're here and we are going to get a bus. This is the last leg to get to Craft Central to the fabric swap.
Yeah, we've had a train and a bus replacement.
So you're going to the fabric
We
swap?
are,
We
yeah.
are.
Yay, me too.
Yay! Can I record you?
Yes, sorry, I didn't realise you were recording, otherwise I wouldn't.
No worries. No, I love this. Tell me everything. Have you got loads of fabric?
I do. I've got a few pieces to swap. Some of them came from other people.
Oh, really? Have people been palming off going, take this, take this for me?
They have. So this one came from a friend who was going to make it into a tablecloth. This I picked up in Edinburgh. It's got this gorgeous fruit print, but it's not going to be a dress for me, so maybe it can be something somewhere else.
So what's the oldest piece?
This is 1970s polyester.
But how long have you had it?
I've had it about a year.
Right. So how long is the oldest bit that you've...
Oh, I've had the fruit prints for, I'm going to say 3 years.
Oh, okay. I've got a piece in my suitcase here that I've had 13.
Yeah.
That is impressive. Yeah.
It's really nice. What about you,
I've got
Catherine?
some in there that's 20 years old because I remember...
20?
Yeah,
Wow.
if not more, because I had it hung up in a house that I lived in when I was a student as curtains. It's some sari fabric, I think, but... it's really...
time to let go.
Yeah,
Have you got any emotional value, or...?
You know what? Not now, no, not at all. And I'm never going to wear it as a garment. I think it would be itchy. It's got embroidery on it. No, it needed to go, and I just felt like I had to be a bit brutal with myself because it's the emotional attachment that I definitely...
Very proud of you. What's your name, sorry?
I'm Louise.
Hello, Louise. Where have you
Hello.
travelled from today?
I live in West Ham,
Oh, okay.
so it's not far.
Okay. Oh, bus. Right. So have you been to a fabric swap before?
Just one. I went to one at the depot in Lewis last year, maybe, and it was brilliant. It was my first one, and I did take stuff to get rid of. I can't remember what now, but I definitely came home with quite a lot, and some of it I've used, some of it I haven't used, but I've been through my fabric stash recently, and I've kind of designated certain bits for different garments that I want to make, or different things that I want to make. So I'm feeling a bit more organised, but I sort of needed this fabric swap to kind of galvanise me a little bit and push me forward to sort
it's come at a good
out.
time. I like that it's the
Definitely.
beginning of the year, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just need to have a sort out really, and yeah, like we said before, it's the emotional attachment to some stuff that I think I'm never ever going to make anything that I'm going to wear out of that, and I can't think of anything that I would make for someone else. And I just think I'm very much a kind of, oh gosh, I might need that one day. I think I've definitely got hoarding tendencies. But if I come home with anything today, I promise I'm going to make something with it.
Cool.
You can hold me to that.
Okay, good. I have been to fabric swaps, but I think they've always been ones that either I've organised or had some part in organising. So I'm really happy to be going to one that I have not organised, and I haven't got the stress of hosting. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to this, and I'm sure by the looks of it, it looks like they've done an amazing job, like the way that they've asked you to come with all your fabric kind of measured so they can put it in categories. I think that's really thoughtful, and I think it's going to make it much easier as well.
I think so, definitely. Actually, the one that I went to before, I had I'm thinking that I would need to do it. Because I didn't really know much about the actual fabric swap itself before I went, so I labelled up everything, rolled it all up, tied it, and put little labels as to how much it was, how much was there. And it wasn't like that. It was just basically chuck everything on a table and it's a bun fight. So,
like a kind of jumble sale.
Yeah, which had its fun, but this sounds like it's much more useful. And fits in with sort of the organisation of stuff as well. So
yeah. And also, I think they were hoping to have 200 people come to this one. I don't know if they've sold quite that many tickets, but with that many people, you got to be quite organised, I guess, haven't you?
Definitely. Have you got anything that you are looking out for in terms of fabric that you would be really glad to pick up?
Yeah, well, do you know what? There's some patterns I would love to make this year.
Okay.
And I went through and checked the fabric requirements for each of them, so I made a note on my phone.
That is so organised.
That's next level organisation, isn't it?
Well,
I've really been like you, trying to have a big sort out, only have stuff that I actually want to sew with, and I don't want to end up with then stuff once again that's sitting around. So I will definitely looking for some stuff for very, very specific projects.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I might find some denim. I would love to make a pair of jeans. I haven't really made that many things lately, not bottom stuff anyway, because of changing body shape and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to make sure that whatever I make, I'm going to be able to get good use out of.
Love it. I love this plans.
Definitely.
Love this for us. I don't think we're far off. Right, okay. I think that they're going to end up with a lot at the end, because I don't think many people are going to be going who are complete beginners, and have nothing. I think my prediction is that most people are turning up because they want to offload fabric. So I think they're going to be masses. But it sounds like they've got a really good system for getting rid of the stuff that is left over.
Oh,
it's going to be going to a charity that organises sewing classes. I don't know if they're a charity, an organisation that organises sewing classes for refugees.
I guess you can't really organise something like this if you haven't got a thought of what might happen to the stuff that is left.
Absolutely.
Because there's always going to be stuff there. Because actually, if it did just end up in landfill or dumped onto some charity shop where people might not buy it, it's almost as bad as just chucking it in landfill in the first
effectively,
place.
It's just moving it around a little bit before it gets into landfill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right then. Well, we'll report back, huh?
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, looking forward to it.
So we've been here for maybe 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
That felt like a very intense 10 minutes. So we've offloaded. I mean, I don't even know where my suitcase is anymore.
It's all over there.
Okay, just like literally came in, dumped, and then rummaged.
Oh.
What I'm finding exciting is though that more people are arriving and more people are bringing stuff, and so I'll probably go back in a bit and it will all be different.
Yeah. And on the website, I was reading it yesterday just so I knew which bits of fabric would go where, and it was saying about, total newbies, or if you haven't got anything to bring to, put down on the tables, just come a bit later. So I suspect there'll be more people coming a bit later on, after like 1:30, I think they've said. So that's good.
Oh, that's nice. Good.
I've had some nice conversations with people.
Have
just
you?
like, it's a really nice environment.
Someone's like testing fabric, seeing if it's pilling. God, this is some pros.
Oh,
absolute pros. I saw somebody picking up some stretchy lining that I got at the fabric swap that I organised for Ukraine a couple of Marches ago, and it was a massive piece of knit lining.
Yes.
And I used a bit of it for a bikini I made, and
yeah.
I was like, I don't need the rest of this 3-metre piece, so I brought it in. So I just picked it up, telling her friend that she was going to use it for her skirt. So that was really pleasing.
That's nice. And it's lovely actually when you see the fabric that you've brought with you. I mean, I've just seen somebody, you brought a piece of coating fabric, didn't you? Ex-Burberry, lovely grey wool.
Yeah.
And I've just had a conversation with a woman who had picked it up.
Aww.
So that was nice. I said, oh my gosh, my friend will be so happy that it's...
I am so happy because that's literally been sitting in my cupboard. That's moved with me countless times.
It's like giving away your fabric babies, sending them out into the world.
It's time though. I mean, I made a coat from that fabric and I loved it. And
I told her about your coat. It is a lovely coat.
Thank you.
So I saw the fabric that you've brought with you at your house, a couple of weekends ago?
Yes.
Have you added anything to the pile since then?
There was one bit that my colleague gave me this Wednesday, a bunch of knit scraps, and one of them was quite a sizable piece, and it's just not a colour that I would use. It was lovely. Yeah. Loop back French terry. So that's the only thing I've added. It was a kind of like pale grey. So that's the only thing I've added that you haven't seen. Don't worry.
Okay, no, it's fine. I mean, I had dibs on it and I said no to the ex-Burberry grey wool, which was lovely. I said no. I was very strong.
So far you've picked up a book.
I've picked up Building the Pattern by Named Patterns because I flicked through. I was looking at it online the other day and thought, oh, that's interesting. I'd seen it before, but there are a few patterns definitely that I can foresee that I would make.
Lovely. And if you don't end up using it, we'll bring it back next year.
Absolutely.
Did you pick up any fabric?
I picked up a bit of kind of like a pale green gingham, which is probably enough for a top.
Nice.
And literally a couple of scraps, which are not for garments, but I just thought my daughter might like them to make something with, or to make like a little purse or a little pouch or something.
Yeah. Are we going to go? Well, there's a bit of a queue to get to the foam patterns. I need to sit down. I picked up 2 bits.
That is so
and I need
nice.
to sit down and cross-reference with my because I actually made notes of what I'm looking for. So I will cross-reference, and if it doesn't suit any of the ideas I have, I will re-release.
To me?
I could re-release it to you.
I don't know. We'll see. It's lovely. I can imagine that.
What I'm struggling with is like I'm looking and I'm like, oh, would that be good leggings for my daughter? Would that be good? And I was like, no, that's not the plan.
Okay.
You know? Trying to be good.
Okay,
right, let's go back in.
Yeah.
Hello, Tanya from Vanilla Fabrics. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Nice to see you here.
What are the chances?
I know. Tell me everything.
Okay.
Tell me about your experience. I mean, everything related to today.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I have destashed.
Have you?
I feel great about it.
Do you?
Yeah, genuinely.
How much did you offload?
I offloaded 2 massive IKEA bags.
Did
one
you?
of entire scraps, so not usable, but I've donated it. There's a little pile
saw that.
of scraps, so all the little offcuts and the bits that just aren't able to use, and then another full bag of stuff from my own personal stash, which was getting out of control, but is not anymore.
Nice.
I do feel much better. Yeah. But
how old was the oldest piece in that?
Well, a lot of stuff was gifted to me. So a friend of mine emigrated to New Zealand. She is Kiwi. So some of it came from her, and that predates my sewing. Being able to sew.
Really?
Yeah.
So she knew it. Like this one.
She's going to start. So I reckon, well over 10 years.
Oh really?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. But I feel so much better, and it's great to see that there's so many people that have turned up and are like, it's really great.
I love how organised it is, the way it's in the different sections.
It's really good.
It really encourages people to look for specific projects, doesn't it? Rather than just like, oh, I like that, I'll figure it out later. It's like, okay, well, this is enough for a dress, or this is enough for a top, or this isn't enough for a top. Yeah.
No, I like that too. And also, because if you have an idea, you go, right, I need some bit of cotton for, I don't know, pocket linings or things like that, you know exactly where to go, because you can either go to the fat quarter or the little remnants bit,
this is cute.
or smaller. So, yeah.
I've brought a suitcase.
Have you?
I brought a suitcase. I've released it into the wilderness.
Yeah.
I've picked up 2 pieces. I'm going to have a big think about if I actually am going to take them.
Ah, okay.
Because I bought about 18 metres of fabric, maybe
Right.
a bit more. I don't want to go home
with 18.
With 18.
Or 20.
Or 20, or,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So so we need to be careful. But what I quite like as well is that as people come in, it's almost like refreshing the tables as well,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know from speaking to Sarah and Yvette at the front, they were saying it's good that some people have taken away more than they've come with. So if they couldn't feel
'cause
like they
otherwise
could
that's
offer,
not gonna work.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But if they felt that they didn't have much to offer, then at least they can make use of the fabric that nobody else wants. This lady's got quite a few of my fabrics. There we go.
Oh, she's got my coating.
Oh, amazing.
Brilliant.
Well,
now you're overthinking it.
I know. Okay.
Right, so this is Shivani, and I'm stalking her because she's just arrived at the fabric swap, and she's got the good stuff. Okay, here we go. Talk me through what you were releasing into the wild.
A really lovely purplish cotton jersey.
That looks really good quality. Everyone's eyes are just gone very wide.
Okay, really lovely navy wool coating for a coat that I kept thinking I wouldn't make. It's a nice kind of check fabric. I don't know what it is though. Some lovely cottons.
I love you. You're prefacing everything with lovely.
They are. It is
Oh,
lovely.
what's that? That does look lovely.
It's kind of a poplin.
Kind of a poplin.
It's narrow, but it's really high quality. Really lovely cotton lawn for a...
Once again, it's lovely.
Very lovely.
If you want to know what it's like, it's lovely.
Okay, yarn dyed cotton shirting.
Oh!
I'm not going to say it, but if anybody wants to...
I mean, I think it speaks for itself. It's lovely.
It is lovely. And
Oh, I brought something very similar to that. It was lovely.
yeah, this is lovely, but this is very stretchy and quite difficult to sew because it stretches, and I'm not patient enough.
Okay, I'm releasing her into the wild.
Oh yeah, no, go for it. It is all lovely. So I hope it finds a lovely home.
Are you looking to bring home some lovely? Or
No, I'm just bestowing the loveliness on others.
You're like a kind of fabric Santa.
I'm a fabric god fairy, and I brought it all for everyone. You're
Are
very
you
welcome.
doing much sewing at the moment?
No, that's why it's all here. No, I made a commitment this year to downsize my stash by 70%.
70%. How's that going?
Badly. This is 50%. 50% is a start.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I've got to go back home and re-examine. And yeah,
So is it a space thing?
It
Is feeling uncomfortable? What ways
It's the
make you
stress.
wanna?
It's the stress of having it and knowing I'm not going to sew it. I mean, some of the pieces are genuinely over 10 years old. I know because that's when my daughter was born.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
a lot of it
our daughters
predates-
are the same
yeah,
age, aren't they?
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of it predates that when I was sewing much more, but my life was very different and my wardrobe requirements were very different, and that's not who I am anymore. And I just thought, why am I holding on to this? I felt like it was, in a way, like it had the opposite effect. It made me not want to sew because I couldn't deal with what I had.
Interesting.
And so I was like, no, I'm just going to get rid of as much as I can. It wasn't 70%, but it was a really good start. And I think it just it's easier to see what I have, and then I can rethink. And I know what I've kept is sort of more me now, and the types of fabrics are a lot more me.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. There's some
Thank
beautiful
you.
stuff that you've just released into the world, and already some of it
I
has
know,
been
it's gone. It's
picked
lovely.
up. Barely even touched the
I
table.
know, hot stuff.
Yeah, you've got the good
We'll
stuff.
get it while it's hot. No, I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. I was worried about bringing it and then just thinking I'm making it someone else's problem, but I
clearly
think
not.
the enthusiasm with which it's been received is been reassuring. So.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, you're good.
How are you feeling?
I'm a bit hungry, but yeah, it's quite overwhelming. Actually.
I feel overwhelmed. How long have we been here?
Well, we got here about 12:05, so we've been here about an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, it's 1:35.
I feel like we've been here forever.
Forever.
But like in a good way.
Ever. Yeah.
The thing is, just you're not done because then
'Cause
someone
people
turns
bring,
up
Yeah.
and undoes a load of amazing fabric, and you're like, oh, here we go.
One of the tables fell down. I was perusing, and it was
Really?
one of the smaller, the smaller
Smaller size
meterage,
pieces, yeah.
and it just collapsed at one end. Yeah, nobody got hurt. It's all fine, but that is the amount of fabric that is here. There's a lot.
Right.
There's a lot of fabric.
Should we talk through what you've got?
Okay. This is some poly. It's kind of a animal print-ish with a black and sort of stony white colour with a yellow But it's only 1.2 by 1.5, but I think maybe a nice blouse. I'm mulling that.
Okay, so it's a maybe.
There's some nice denim.
You have to, because you were saying, I want denim.
I know, I do. I mean, I kind of came with blue denim in mind, but I would like to make some jeans.
That would be enough for a pair of ginger jeans.
This is, oh my god, I wish I could show you what it looked like.
Dear listener, I wish you could see it. It is beautiful. So it's almost like a 1940s print.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Is it a viscose possibly?
I don't know. I don't think
it's quite see-through.
It is, but I'm thinking of a nice. I mean, I kind of thought of like a coat lining, perhaps. Is it a bit thin, do you think, for a coat lining? Or
well, look how see-through it is.
But it's
I'm not
lovely.
saying no. I'm just giving you some.
This just sings to me. So
yeah, singing to you. Lovely.
Some just dark grey cotton t-shirting
that
jersey.
Looks really great quality.
For making t-shirts for daughter. Some black viscosey
that's nice.
Stuff for like a drapey top.
Really jealous, yeah.
Now this, what do you think? Because I'm not sure, actually. I like it, and
it's a great quality jersey.
I don't know.
So this is like a 90s print. It makes me think of Clueless.
Yes.
It makes me think of Friends. It's like a ditzy floral.
Yeah, like a viscose, but I'm thinking of a kind of 90s-ish tea dress type thing. I haven't got a pattern particularly
That'd be super cute.
That's cute. Another one.
Oh, see, similar vibe.
I've picked up too much stuff, haven't I, really?
Well, that's for you to say.
Book that I mentioned earlier, and I've got some like cotton jersey.
Art Gallery, so it's called.
Yeah,
that brand's very nice quality.
It is lovely quality.
It's nice for sleepwear.
Yeah,
it's so
true.
soft.
That is lovely, isn't it? And the rest is really. I've picked up some little bits of fabric that I will just use in small things.
Nice block print.
Yeah.
Right, you ready?
Yeah. Go for it.
So this is some this is loopback French terry that you put down. It's like a petrol blue colour.
Yeah.
It says a metre, but I feel like it's maybe more.
Yeah, I think it looks more than
I think definitely joggers for the kids, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a small amount of really cool print jersey. I'm going to take that because definitely t-shirt for Lola.
She would, yeah, I can see her in that. And these kind of remind me of little pin cushions. It's very cute.
This incredible loopback French terry that has got almost an all Kylie print.
Yeah.
I'm all about this. I'm
That's
fully
really
on board
good.
with that. I don't know how big it is yet. We'll figure that out. This I might give away back into the wild. It's a really nice piece of mustard. I'm not sure yet. I do really like it. Mustard double gauze with like a wiggly white line print. I just don't know if there's enough.
Well, if you don't want it, then you could always send
fight
it
about
my
that in a
way,
minute. This is a little scrap of cloud print jersey, which will make great pants. And this I'm really into. It is a piece of green viscose. It's a load of it. It's just the colour that I'm really into at the moment.
That is very you. That's lovely.
Very into it. Yeah, and I've still got a couple of patterns to give away.
You had some. Where's that lovely tomatoey coloured red?
I released it into the world.
Why did you do that?
Because it was very crinkly.
Oh, okay.
Very, very crinkly. And I'm almost like slightly over rust as a colour. Like I've been so into rust.
That wasn't rust though, that was more tomato, I think.
Potato.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's probably still out there somewhere. What I have here is a much less than I came with, but it's still more than I was planning to bring back.
Me too.
So if I see anything else I like, I have to relinquish something, I think.
I'm tempted to actually even send some photos to my daughter to say, would you wear this? And if
That's
she
a
says
really good
no,
idea.
then I'm going to put it back.
That's a really, really good idea. Okay, I'm going to go through it again and just double check that I've got plans for everything. Otherwise, yeah, this is intense. And just when I think like, okay, right, we're done, and then some more people turn up with more fabric, and
it is a lot. It's nice.
It's very exciting.
It is. And it's just lovely to kind of think that fabric is going to be used.
Absolutely.
You know? What's the point of it sitting in the loft for years on end?
Absolutely. And there's been so many nice people, some people that I know, don't know their names, I've met them before, they're really lovely, so it's been really nice to chit chat with some peeps and some other random peeps. Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Hello Camilla, how are you doing?
All right.
How are you feeling?
Nervous because I'm in interviews.
It's not, we're chatting in a casual manner. I'm feeling so many emotions right now.
Oh.
There's been excitement. There's been like a bit of guilt.
Why?
Because I was not going to come home with any fabric. And I clearly am about to do that.
That's all right.
How are you feeling?
Unenable you.
You are an enabler. You have got some incredible pieces, may I say.
I'm
You're
looking at
fabric.
I'm looking at my stuff and thinking, should I put some stuff back now?
Okay, well, let's talk through it. These, clearly your colours, you're looking at these beautiful flecked, are they jersey? Are they sweatshirting?
Yeah, I think
oh my
they're
God,
fleecy.
They're stunning.
Yeah,
They're
fleecy.
clearly your colours. They clearly look amazing quality. I think you should keep.
Okay. That's easy.
Okay.
They were the two that I was unsure about. So
Really?
yeah.
Interesting. I think
Yeah.
they're stunning and they're...
Actually, they look good together.
They look
I could,
amazing. You could do like a cool
a
raglan situation.
colour block thing.
Absolutely.
situation,
They
yeah.
wanted to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's literally the colour of your jacket, so it's clearly in your colour
Yeah.
palette.
I don't have enough plum.
Not enough plum in the world. Okay, cool.
This is really cool, but it's
amazing
vintage, so it's quite
print.
narrow. But it's got cool.
It's so fun. It's got like a sketchy...
Yeah, it's got people playing instruments on
this
it.
This is amazing. That looks
But that's
like
how narrow
the
it is.
Netherlands. It looks like
yeah.
Dutch houses. Oh my
I
God, it's
didn't notice that.
incredible. Okay, you
Yeah.
have to keep that. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Sorry, I've just seen your amazing Ankara. Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know if I can wear it because I don't want to be offensive to anyone and be culturally appropriating anything.
Interesting. Obviously I cannot speak on that, but when I interviewed somebody who imports Ankara into the UK, said no problem.
It's from Holland, you know, that's where it comes from, so it's like international. You know, they brought it over to Africa.
Via Indonesia. I think go for it. If you don't, I'm going to take it.
There's so much of it. Love a bit of
More
Ankara.
beautiful Ankara. The colours are gorge.
Love a bit of gingham.
Yes, lovely. It's like a kind of, it's got a seersucker vibe to it, hasn't it? That.
Yeah. And need a bit of plain fabric.
That is really nice. That's some linen twill by the looks
Yeah.
of things. Gorge.
Yeah, that's
You've
it.
done really well. I mean, you got here early, didn't you?
Yeah. But everybody's been putting stuff down throughout the day, so
They really have.
yeah. So it doesn't really matter what time you come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does help if you're here all the time. Can't ever notice that that's going to help.
It's died down a bit. What time is it? About 2. So yeah, come at this time if you want to beat the crowd.
I've lost all sense of time.
What time did you get here?
Don't know. See? No idea. Well done. And you've got a pattern and you've got that.
This one. Oh yeah.
Oh,
What do you think? Advice, colour. Does it wash me out?
No, I think it's really good on you.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would wash me out. See, wishy-wash, not
Yeah.
on you.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's good
'cause
on you.
I think you've got rose tones in your skin.
Okay.
Right, that's me done.
Tamsin, how are you doing? Tell me of your experience.
I've had a productive day. I've got rid of stuff, picked up more than I thought I would.
You've got some lovely pieces.
I've just put another piece back, so...
What's the
very
ratio
restrained.
of what you brought to what
I
you're taking
brought
away? Honestly.
a massive sack of scraps, 14 lengths of fabric,
14?
and 5 patterns, and I've got 5 pieces of fabric in
Amazing.
my bag. 6.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And
so-
they're incredible. And you can bring them back next year if you don't use them.
Exactly.
Congratulations on this amazing fabric swap.
Thanks,
Are
Zoe.
you pleased with how it's gone?
Yeah, really pleased. Yeah, it's been brilliant. And Yvette from Stash Hub, we've done it together. So it's like a joint venture, and it's been really good. Thank you.
Did you do the last one? The two of you? Was it?
It was just me, and
Right.
then I met Yvette at that last one,
Right.
and then Yvette came to the So Sustainable Fair, and then I asked her to join me with this one.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good mix.
Do you know what? It has been so well organised. But I've never been to a fabric swap before that's kind of got the separate tables for the different size pieces. That's so clever.
Oh, probably just my my organisation. I'm just one of those people like things in compartments.
Yeah, but it works really, really well because you can immediately get more of an idea of like, okay, right, well, this is going to be enough for a top, or this is
Yeah.
going to be enough for a dress, or whatever, and it just kind of narrows down the kind of overwhelm a bit, I think.
Exactly, otherwise it's kind of one big mass, although the under 1 metre table did collapse earlier.
I heard this.
Me and Yvette were chatting about it because it is an issue. You know, you've got a lot of people with not even a half metre fabric. You don't want to throw it away.
Yeah.
Cottons you can use, crafting, patchworking, but things like viscose, chiffon, I mean, you know, you've got 30 centimetres. What do you do with it?
Yeah. Who knew that chiffon and lightweight fabrics could collapse a table?
Yeah,
That sheer
exactly.
volume. But yeah, so it's been like a good turnout.
Oh, it's been amazing, yeah, and everyone's so lovely who comes. It's such a good atmosphere, and there's been lots of sharing. If there's like big pieces of fabric, people have asked for scissors so they can share it.
Oh, that's really
then
nice.
like the cafe's been really busy so that people stop and have chats and make friends, and it's that part that it's really warming.
Yeah.
You know, it's really nice knowing that people just come for the social and to drop things off and pick stuff up, but meet people as well.
And what about you? Did you bring any fabrics? Did you take any fabrics away? Have you even had a chance to look?
Actually, I didn't this time, but what happened was there's a place in Bethnal Green that I do workshops, and it's joined to a charity shop, and they had so much fabric. We couldn't actually move in the workshop, but we just kept falling over it. So I kind of, as a favour to them, brought these massive bags, and then someone dropped some off to me when they couldn't make today. So I actually filled the space before you even opened.
Well, that's kind of nice when people first come in, there's stuff there already to look at.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was good then, because there were people who came really early, so it meant there were things for them already.
Yeah.
And also, you just felt like you're helping out, especially a charity shop. You know, they had all this fabric they just couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
So at least then, you know, you feel like you're helping them as well, which is really good.
So, in terms of like the organisation, like, I mean, I'm hoping that this episode will encourage other people who are interested in organising their own. Like, could you give any tips or any like kind of things to watch out for that can go awry? Or
Yes, I definitely recommend it. I think the more people that do this, the better, because I've had people come from really far away. I mean, someone came from Southampton today and we're in London. So I feel like it's really good if other people did the same. I mean, this is big because we've got a big space.
yeah, but it doesn't have to be on this scale,
Exactly.
does
I
it?
think people could start off small. You could just have it with friends. Like maybe just get a group of friends of you together and just come and swap between you. And then whatever left over, I think it's important to find out charities before you start. Before I did my first one last year, someone did warn me I'd be left with a lot, because I'm pretty much left with the same as I started with.
Right.
I think maybe even more this time. So in advance, I already spoke to like local sewing groups, charities that do dressmaking or teach dressmaking, and then I think that's really important. So you've got somewhere to give it to afterwards, because you are left with things. So you almost like start backwards, start with where you're going to finish off before you start at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we did charge a small fee for a ticket this time because we found we needed to offer a solution for scrap fabrics, and it actually costs money to send those for recycling. So that's another thing to think about. Are you going to ask for scraps? Some fabric swaps only do like 1 metre and above for that reason. So maybe start with 1 metre and above, so that you're not left with that problem at the end.
That is a really good tip, yeah. Or pre-arrange with a quilting group or something.
Yeah, like exactly. If you've got small bits of cottons, but you know, they're like the really small scraps like you get from your overlocker and things like that.
Yeah.
So we were really pleased that we could offer that solution this time, because being part of Craft Central, we could add to their recycling with First Mile. We were able to do that. But if you're not a business, it's quite difficult and expensive to do.
Yeah. You're so lucky with this venue as well, because that's another aspect to it, isn't it? Trying to decide where to host something like this.
Yeah, so I think if you're going to use like a community centre, someone like that, just work out what your costs are. So work out how much it's going to charge you for rent, how much if you're going to have to pay for recycling, and then work out how much you have to charge the ticket. So again, you're working backwards. But if you want to literally do it for a few friends, obviously you don't have to charge anything. You can do it just
so
between
when did you start organising this? Because we're now at the end of January, or coming up to the end of January.
We started, I think I asked Yvette in October.
Right.
I think we had a meeting, we met up in October to chat about what we were going to do. And I already had in my mind we wanted it in January. I think January's a good time. You know, people are a bit short of cash.
Yeah. And people are having that kind of clear out as well, aren't they? Like spring clean, let's sort my life out.
Yeah, exactly. So January felt like a good time. So I think we only started promoting it probably about a month in advance. I probably booked the venue about September time, like a few months in advance. So if you are going to use a community centre somewhere like that, you might need to book it like 3 months in advance.
Yeah. So how do you think that most of the people here found out about the event?
Definitely Instagram, and Yvette is Stash Hub is really good on Instagram with her videos.
So are
and
you.
things. Oh, thanks. I think with her encouragement. And thanks to you. And you did a few posts for us, which were really helpful. And local Facebook groups. There's a lot of people in the Isle of Dogs, and we had a lot of local people.
Nice.
Like community sewing groups I got in touch with and asked them to come along. So lots of kind of get in touch with people direct, asking people to come along. And we did book with Eventbrite, which is also, you have to be aware, they charge a third. But we decided to do that because also it's a way of advertising. You know, it pops up on people's feeds and people use Eventbrite a lot. So So
and that's just one less thing to have to deal with as well, isn't it, in terms of the bookings?
It is, and we could check people in easily with that. And also, especially if you haven't got your own website, you can create a page very easily on there, and then you've almost got like a web page.
Yeah, and it was perfect because it had all the information right there, didn't it? About
exactly.
Like, these are the categories. You know, can you mark your fabric in advance? Let people know what to expect. It was really good.
Exactly, but just to be aware that they do charge a fee, so add that into your costs as well.
Yeah.
But there are other organised apps and websites that then will charge a lot less, or you can just organise it on Facebook. I think that probably would be free.
Yeah.
We just chose Eventbrite because I'd used it before, and I knew we had a presence on there already, so maybe people can find us.
Amazing top tips. Thank you so much. Is there going to be another?
I think it's an annual thing.
Love it, yeah.
I think I only get the space at Craft Central once or twice a year, and it's really fun, and the organising's fun. It's more a case of dealing with what's left. That's quite difficult to deal with what's left, so I think I could probably only do that once a year.
Absolutely. Yeah, well done. It's been amazing.
You.
It's been so much fun. Like halfway through, I texted my husband saying, "I'm having too much fun." So I really enjoyed it.
I hope you found lots of nice bits.
I did. I brought some stuff that I really just wanted out of my life. Like, nice stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I wanted it out of my life, out of my head.
Yeah.
And I've got some amazing pieces that I'm really excited. And
great.
I'm taking home less than I brought, which is the goal, which I think is probably a lot of people's goals.
It is.
As well.
Yeah, it is. Although I'm quite sad when people leave and they haven't got a big enough bag.
Go back in.
But that was the other thing, actually. We did this time encourage people who haven't got a stash to come along. So I met someone who's really new to sewing, and she took home lots of things, or students. People just moved to the UK, and then that way you're also helping them out as well, which is good, and helps me too, because then there's less things to get rid of.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, and I
thanks,
hope to see you again soon.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for coming.
Where are we?
We're on the train. Where are we? We're London Bridge. Okay, yeah, London Bridge. Been to the pub. Was good.
Yes, confirmed. Okay, so we've got our stash.
Oh, I'm really excited about this. I must remember, by the way, in here. Actually, I might just take them out now. But we got some really lovely labels when we left.
They were really sweet. They made labels.
Where are they? I can't find them. This is massive.
One says Stash Hub, swapped, not shopped, and this is Olive Road. And on the other side it says Saved from Landfill, which is really cute.
Oh, they are lovely.
That's very thoughtful.
What a great idea. So,
would you go back to that, even though it took a million hours to get to?
Oh yeah, I think so. It was a really nice space, really nice venue for it to be in. And I've got some really nice fabric that I think I'm definitely going to use. There's a couple of pieces that might be in use for my daughter, but I don't know if she'll use them, but I'll find some use for them.
And if you don't, you can take them back again to the next one. Because there were some people there, weren't they, that were taking pieces back that they took at the last one.
Yes, yeah, we met a woman, didn't we, on the way earlier? You spoke to her, you recorded with her, and she was like, I got some of this last year,
which is really
time,
cute.
What were we saying?
Welcome aboard the Southern service to East Grinstead. The next station is East Croydon.
Thank you.
Keep your bags and personal belongings with you at all times.
Okay, so are we saying...
Doesn't look right. Report it to a member of staff.
See it, say it, sort it.
On 61016.
This might be interesting for the international listeners.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. So are we saying... So you've got a book, you've got some fabric. Are you saying that you took home more or less fabric than you brought?
I don't know. I think maybe less. It feels weighty, about the same weight, but I think I've got less. But I think it feels the same weight because I've got some denim and I've got some jersey, whereas the stuff that I brought with me was maybe heavier fabrics, possibly. So yeah, I think less. I'm telling myself that.
But it doesn't matter if what you've brought is inspiring.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely going to use it. It's lovely.
You've done very well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, as have you. And this book, I'm so happy
You've
with
got
it.
Building the Pattern by Named Clothing. So I did a tot-up,
Yeah.
an approximate tot-up in the pub, and so I brought over 18 metres,
Yeah.
but I'm taking home 14. Well, is it nice? I was thinking, I don't want to, but actually there was quite a few bits that I can genuinely, I only took stuff I can genuinely see myself using, and I have a pretty clear idea of what each is going to be. But I mean, it's still volume, isn't it?
It's volume, but I think if you know what you might use it for, it's okay, it's good. And you still got
Justifying it?
left. Yeah, I'm justifying it.
Thank you.
I'm an enabler.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just such a lovely event. I met so many people, and actually everyone I spoke to said, oh, I didn't mean to take as much. I definitely came thinking I would just get rid of stuff and not take much home, and that's not happened. And yeah, everyone, me included. You've taken away less, I don't know yet. I haven't totted it up,
But it was good quality. There was some good stuff.
yeah, it's
Like
really
when we
good.
were first there, and it was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I went through, we found some bits, lovely. And then a bit later on, like someone else would turn up, and then they bring some more, and you're like, oh, there's new stuff on the table. I'll have another look.
yeah, there were people that were there for a long time, like us. We were definitely.
Well,
like,
yeah, I was
"What-
talking to Camilla,
what's
and she
going
was there at the beginning when it opened at 11, and she was still there at half 2.
on?" Yeah, it was a nice place to hang out.
And then
Cone Mills.
Shivani came,
Oh, yeah.
and Shivani brought the good
So
stuff,
I
the
don't-
lovely stuff.
I don't know Shivani. How do you know Shivani?
Sewing.
So clearly, yes.
Sewing,
You surprised me.
blogging back in the
Oh,
day.
okay.
Yeah, back in the day. I think we ended up having kids at the same time. Both our daughters are 10.
Okay.
But I knew her before. I don't know. Anyway, I've seen her at various London sewing things. But she's got a very good taste.
She has, and I now have some of her Cone Mills.
And you
denim.
have the jersey as well.
Yeah. Oh, was that from her as well?
That was from her
yeah,
as well.
that's really
good
cute.
quality stuff. She was saying that she was
Lovely.
trying to reduce her stash by 70%, and she'd reduced it by
Wow.
50%, taking the stuff to the swap. So, and she was very good. She was like, I'm not even looking. She was just like, no, not even
That's
looking.
really strong.
Folding up my bag, and off I go.
So,
So props to her.
yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Catherine, friend of the podcast, for coming with
Thank
me.
you. It's been lots of fun again.
Till next time.
Thanks so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode and are left feeling inspired. For more info about the podcast, including show notes for this and every episode, head to checkyourthread.com. I'd love to hear from you, so if you have any comments, questions or ideas for future episodes, please get in touch by emailing zoe@checkyourthread.com or find me on Instagram @checkyourthread. Massive thanks to Patrick Potter for production support, to Sylvia Seller for the awesome logo design, and to Simon at Palm Skin Productions for the music. This ad-free podcast would not be possible without listener support, so if you feel you are able, please consider signing up to the Check Your Thread Patreon. For the equivalent of buying me a coffee each month, you'll be making it possible to continue producing regular episodes. Links can be found in the show notes and on the website checkyourthread.com. I hope you'll listen again next week. Until then, take care. Bye!